Today, I would like to talk about Whitney Young Jr. According to biography.com, Whitney Young Jr. was born on July 31st, 1921, in Lincoln Ridge, Kentucky. A middle child with two sisters, his mother was a teacher and his father was the principal of the Lincoln Institute, an African American preparatory school. He attended Kentucky State Industrial College before working as a teacher himself and then serving in World War II overseas, where he acted as a bridge between black and white servicemen. Young wedded his college sweetheart, Margaret Buckner, in 1944, and the couple went on to have two children. Now, according to Defense.com, little known civil rights pioneer Whitney Young Jr. Many people, particularly the younger generation, are not aware of Whitney Young Jr.'s contribution to the civil rights movement or his role in making life better for African Americans in the armed service. Young was one of America's most charismatic, courageous, and influential civil rights pioneer, yet he never achieved the fame of his contemporaries Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Thurman Good Marshall, Adam Clayton Powell Jr., and a host of others. But those who knew him and worked with him praised him for his political civil rights leader and clergyman. Andrew Young said Whitney Young knew the high of how to get power from the powerful and shared it with the powerless. Nancy J. West, in her 1969 book, Whitney Young Jr. and the Struggles for Civil Rights, wrote Young spent most of his adult life in the white world, transcending barriers of race, wealth, and social standing to advance the welfare of Black America. His goal was to gain access for Blacks to good jobs, education, housing, healthcare, and social services. His tactics was reasoned, persuasive, and negotiative. Arthur Dennis Dickerson, in his 1998 biography, Militant Mediator, credited Young with almost single-handedly persuading corporate America and major foundations to aid the civil rights movement through financial contributions in support of self-help programs for jobs, housing, education, and family rehabilitation. Young devised a domestic Marshall Plan for cities that President Lyndon B. Johnson later incorporated into his war on poverty. Young's plan sought to eradicate ghettos and to increase spending on education, housing, vocational training, and health service at a cost of $145 billion over 10 years. The success and ease Young had in working with the white establishment made him a target of harass, sometimes bitter criticism. Black militants and white radicals labeled him a sellout to whites or as an Uncle Tom, Whitey, Oreo, and other derogatory names, according to the Urban League president, H. Hewitt B. Price. Consequently, Love said many people did not know about all the good things he was doing behind closed doors. His negotiations for jobs for African Americans and his emphasis on health and education were some of the most important things in the civil rights movement. Love noted, "I feel that one day this will come out and he will be given credit for a lot of success African Americans are having today." A lot of people, especially the race listed to Young, love him. He knew how to get the message across about what others had done to African Americans and was still doing without making them angry or turning them off. As Whitney said, I may not be down with whatever you are in the gutter, but I intend to bring you up where I am. Love said, my job is to help you reach your goals and the African American people to become the part of the companies. This way, they will be in a position to hire other African American or become entrepreneurs themselves as they see how the business works. After settling numerous disputes between black soldiers and their white commanders, he discovered that he has fought in life with interracial mediation, the book stated. Not just because I saw the problem, but because I saw the potential. Young explained in a white speech while president of the National Urban League as posted held in 1961 until he drowned on March 11 in Lagos, Nigeria. I gave up with the basic inheritance, descendant of human beings, decency of human beings. Young was also dean of the Atlantic Universal School of Social Work and the president of the National Conference of Social Welfare and the National Association of Social Workers. He served for a time as the Georgia president of the NAACP. According to Wikipedia, at the age of 40 in 1961, Young became executive director of the National Urban League. He was unanimously selected by the National Urban League Board of Directors, succeeded by Lash Granger on October 1st, 1961. Within 4 years, Young had expanded the organization from 38 employees to over 1,600 and formed an annual budget from $325,000 to $6.1 million. Young served as the president of the Urban League until his death until 1961. Young served the president of the National Association of Social Workers from 1969 to 1961. He took office at a time of fiscal instability and association of uncertainty about President Nixon's continuing commitment to the war on poverty and to the end of the war in Vietnam. At the 1969 NASW Delegate Assembly, Young stated, "First of all, I think the country is in deep trouble. We as a country have blazed unimagined trails technologically and industrially. We have not yet begun to pioneer in those things that are human and social. I think the social work are unique equipment to play a major role in the social and human renaissance of our society. We will be successful, lead to survival, and if unsuccessful, will lead us to justifiable death." In conclusion, according to PBS.org, Young, one of the most celebrated leaders of the civil rights era, helped thousands of people struggle against discrimination by taking the fight directly to those in power. However, because those in power were the same white elite that he shook hands, made deals, and worked with behind the scene, he was also one of the most controversial figures in the civil rights movement and viewed by some as an Uncle Tom. Thank you.